All right, hey, welcome to High Intensity Tactics. This is Chris Cicchinelli, and today I want to talk to all my leaders that are out there, all my leaders that are sitting there and saying, hey, I need to know some new ways to go out there and lead. How are you doing? What are you doing? And how have you done it? Well, let me tell you something. I've learned a lot through this whole pandemic that we've been through, right? On leadership skills, things that I think that really have come out in characteristics and traits. And these are things I'm seeing just not in myself and my leaders here, but in leaders that people want to follow. Just like you, I was concerned, I was worried, I was a little bit nervous of how everything was going to play out, right? What was going to end up happening, how everything was going to work with business. And especially if you have a bunch of employees or, you have a bunch of tribe members that are out there that, sales team that's, cranking it out, worried about their livelihood, their safety, their families, all that kind of stuff. It showed me that there's a lot, there's going to be new rules that are going to be happening. There's going to be new changes that are going to be happening. The rules have changed in the game now. I've learned that a lot. Biggest thing that I've learned through this whole process is there's really kind of 6 key, ingredients that I'm seeing when it comes to leaderships. And there's a bunch of C's that go into this business leaderships. And the first one is communication. I think that's what's kind of helped us as an organization get through this pandemic and also not just get through it, but also have growth through it. It's that constant communication to the sales force. The first thing I said is this, we can't run from this. We've got to be straight up front with people. We got to let people know because there's so much uncertainty with people right now. They didn't know if things were going to be opened or closed, what they could or could not do. And I said to my team, the one thing that we want to make sure that we do is that we are going to communicate, and over-communicate. That's what we're going to do here. And my team was like, do you think that that's being too much, giving them too much information? I'm like, no. At this time, what you want to do is you want to be as transparent as you possibly can because they got to make decisions. They're business owners. I'm not going to treat them as their employees. They're business owners, and they got to go out there and make a decision. And I think if you communicate to people, people can make their decisions. I think when people start, getting scared and people, the panic comes in, the uncertainty comes in, is when you don't make a decision, when you're wishy-washy, when you're not out there, giving your people a clear directive of what to do, where to go. That's the first CIC, right? The other CIC is this. You got to have character. And that's the thing. You got to respect yourself first, right? That was the biggest thing is you got to respect yourself and saying, what would you want? What would you desire as far as, from communication from your organization, or what would you want people to tell you if you were going through that exact same thing? And that's why I said this. You got to respect yourself as far as a business owner and as far as an entrepreneur. And that's a really, really hard thing sometimes. I think people sometimes, put all this respect in all these gurus, these mentors, these coaches, these things that they put around their accountants, their attorneys, but they sometimes don't respect themselves or they respect their decisions that they have. That is a huge thing when it's talking about building your character. You got to also understand building your character is this. You got to be impeccable with your word. That's a big thing I think a lot of people learned during this whole thing, and I think we continue to keep learning it. If you say you're going to deliver, you better deliver. If you say that this is your SLA, your service level agreements, and you got to make sure that you meet those. You meet them or exceed them every day. That's being impeccable. If you say you're going to provide the best customer service, then you pick up the phone, you call your customer back. Don't just leave them waiting. Don't give them giving them the answer. If you say you have the best product, well, gosh bless it, you better step behind that product that you're out there delivering to people. Be impeccable with what you say that you're going to do. You are trustworthy. You got to ask yourself, are you trustworthy? Do you keep your word? Are you practicing what you preach? All of those things are important. These are positive characters that are going to attract people to your team. They're going to attract people to want to follow you. And that's what I said. When we went through this, I said, if we went through and I have to, I'm going to sleep at the warehouse to make sure we get those packages out because I told them we're going to deliver. We're going to deliver to what we said we're going to do. And that's huge. You have to also understand as a leader, we have to understand our character. We need to turn our wants into musts. If we want to build $1 million team or we want to have 100,000, we got to turn that into it needs to be a must. It needs to happen. That's the stuff that we need to be doing. That's how you build character. You know what? I want to go out there and build a big party, schedule. I want to build a big funnel. No, I want is great. I must build a big funnel. I must build a healthy party schedule. Those are how we need to change the way we talk. Remember, positive self-talk. We need to put those goals out there. We desire that as human beings. We eat that up like the Cookie Monster. It's important. Today, we also got to think about this as competence, right? Leading by example. Are you confident in your business? Are you competent in what you're delivering each and every day to your team? Are you studying, staying a student? Are you making sure that you're keeping up on the latest information? This is something, if you want people to follow you, you have to understand that they're going to follow people that have competence. That say can give them that are leading themselves first and foremost, and then being able to say, hey, do they really understand the business? Do they understand, what it is to do an in-person party, what it is to do a virtual, a Zoom, or whatever? How competent are you in your craft, your business? That is a big, big piece that I see. The other thing too is this: is you think about charisma, right? Charisma is just something that people sit back and go, gosh, you have to have this as a leader. Well, what I'll tell you is this. It's how do you enter in a room? Do you have a little swagger when you're entering in? Do you have a little bit of charisma when you're on your leadership calls with your team? Are you kind of going out there and you're building more charisma by making sure that you're living your life by design, being more mindful about people on the other end? Gary Vee says, I attract a crowd, not because I'm an extrovert or I'm on top or anything. I'm just oozing with charisma. And that's the true thing. It's because he cares. It's because he says, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I want people to follow me. I want people to know that I'm here for them. That is an important thing. I want people to say, gosh, man, that person's got so much charisma. I want to be around them. I can't wait to be around them. The other C is this. As a leader, you got to be willing to change, baby. You've got to be willing to accept the things that you cannot change. Meaning you can't accept your conditions, but you can change your choices. And that's what I keep telling people. You got to, as a leader, have to be able to adapt to change. It is hugely important if you're going to lead an organization today, especially during like a pandemic that we just went through, right? That's part of it. How do you lead? How do you make sure that you understand that these C's are important? And the final C is this: as a leader, people want to follow somebody with confidence. They want to be able to surround themselves. Leaders need to believe in them and the people that they serve. I need to put confidence into people to do the right thing. I need to put confidence in people that they're going to go out there and do that. I don't want to just sit over top of somebody. So that's me putting confidence into my next leadership and saying, you can do this. You got this. You're going to make this happen. But it also comes with confidence in myself and my decision-making that I have. I think of leaders today, they need to work on those C's. They need to understand, they need character, they need competence, they need communication, they need charisma. They need all of this. They need to understand change is going to happen. In the last 6 C's, they got to have some confidence in themselves. Today, you go out there and you make sure you're working on that character. You're making sure that you're going out there and you're driving that each and every day to build that confident leader that I know that's out there, that's waiting to blossom, that's waiting to bloom. Remember, this is HIT, high intensity tactics. We don't do anything light. We don't do anything easy. Let's go out there and win the day. Live life by design, not by default. Have a great day, everybody.